What's up, guys? Welcome to La Banca podcast and our first time ever in English. I'm your host, Mark Segovia, along with my co-host, Fidel Andande. What's going on, Fidel?
Yo, man, what's up? It's good. Just having fun and looking forward to our tonight's topics, and actually looking forward to the English version because I know we do it in Spanish for a public audience, but today it's an exciting day because we get to get it started in English, and I know we're gonna get some followers who are gonna like our opinions because of course that's what we do every day. But I'm excited, man. Let's do this.
No, yeah, for sure, man. For those who don't know, we've been doing this for a little bit over 2 months now, and we have a Spanish version of this show that's on our YouTube page. But because we are getting a lot of new followers and a lot of new viewers and subscribers, we want to make sure that we appease to all our fans out there of the Banco podcast and get an English version. Now, this would be a little bit of an abbreviated version of the Spanish show, but still, you're going to get the same information, the same topics, and these two handsome guys right here. What more can you ask for?
That's more than enough.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, the big topic of this week, obviously, is the new Champions League fixtures, the round of 16 that's coming up. We got it here going on for everybody to see. Fidel, what's your opinions on this, man? I mean, we see the groups on there, all the stuff and all that good stuff right there. What do you think of the draws?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't surprised. There are a couple of games that I think, or a couple of matches that I think that are gonna be something to look forward to. But other than that, everything else looks kind of normal. We can narrow down to 2-3 games that we can say, hey, these 3 games are gonna be something that we can really talk about and go in more in depth. But I mean, if you look at the beginning, Monchengladbach and Man City, I mean, you know what's going to happen on paper, although I think Man City is probably going to struggle because they've been struggling from the beginning. Other than that, the other thing that you can go ahead and go look forward to is Barcelona, PSG, and maybe even Atletico Madrid, Chelsea. But I mean, I like the table. I like it. It's going to be exciting, and there's a lot to talk about this group, man.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna go a little bit in depth, go match by match and see what our predictions are, what your predictions are, basically. Because obviously we have a lot of big heavy hitters in this round of 16, and we have a lot of newcomers, a lot of clubs that we don't really see in the Champions League knockout stages, but they're here and I'm pretty sure that they're ready to go, ready to do some damage in this round of 16 and knock off some of these big clubs out. So obviously the first match that we see on here is Borussia Monchengladbach versus Man City. Man, who do you think takes that fixture?
Man, I like I said earlier, I mean, you can see it on paper, right? Man City, it's the best team out of those two, of course, by far. Economically, you can even bet on it. But at the same time, Monchengladbach that struggle with qualifying, lost to Madrid in the last group stage, and it was holding off. And I say holding off because at the same time they knew they couldn't lose by many goals, so they were waiting just to see what was going to happen in the other groups because they knew that if they didn't get scored a lot of goals on them, they still had a high chance of qualifying, which it happened, right? And then you have a Man City who's been struggling. It hasn't just been struggling in its local league in the Premier League, but it's also been struggling in the Champions League. So it's a very good game. I still give it to Man City, but you never know. Monchengladbach could give a surprise, and Man City, might be the first team knocked out. Who knows?
Yeah, man, I gotta agree with you. Obviously, when a club like Borussia comes into these fixtures, especially when they're not a common team that comes into these fixtures, this is an opportunity to make history in their own club, right? So they're gonna come with a lot of passion, a lot of pride to make sure that they represent their team well and the league. Man City, on the other hand, obviously they're a fixture to this the last decade, obviously ever since the takeover. Pep Guardiola, we all know his resume, and unfortunately for right now, Man City isn't at that top level that we're so accustomed to watching. But yeah, man, unfortunately, I think it's still going to be a little bit too much for Borussia Mönchengladbach, but I think he takes it, man.
Yeah.
So moving on to Lazio and Bayern Munich, man. What are your opinions on this? Lazio going against the defending champions, Bayern Munich, who are still undefeated in their last 19 or 20 fixtures in the Champions League, I believe. So that's a long streak, man. Long streak.
I'm gonna call it right now. I think these are the champions. I think this is the team that's been more consistent. I think this is the team that doesn't have a lot of pressure in their own league, and I think Bayern Munich is just that team that nobody thinks about, but it's playing a great game. They're so confident, man, and they're all about playing as a team. You know, they play that typical German game where it's like. I don't have to. I could be in front of the goal, but I have to score because I know there's a teammate next to me that I can give a pass to and put the goal. I mean, put the ball past the net. So it's a team that I really enjoy watching, and it's a team that doesn't make that many mistakes, which is something that is very important in football, especially at the professional level. But then again, you got Lazio, a team that has 2, 3 great players that can come out there and outshine you. And we'll see. We'll see if Lazio is going to back up against their goal and go on a counterattack. But I doubt it. I doubt it. Anything's going to get through Bayern Munich just because everybody's a hustler in that team, from the middle even to the forwards. I mean, you could see Mueller from up top coming back and defending and stop a goal. So you never know. But I think Bayern is not just going to win this game, but I think they're also going to win the Champions League this year again.
Wow, so you heard it here first. Back-to-back Champions League for Bayern Munich, according to Fidel. But no, man, I got to agree with you fully. Bayern Munich, I mean, if there's an unselfish team out there that's a big team, big club, it's Bayern Munich. Obviously, Lewandowski gets all the headlines because of all the goals he scored, and obviously him being very deserving of the Ballon d'Or that got canceled this past season. But yeah, man, I got to be on with you, man. Bayern Munich just seems unstoppable right now. They're at an all-time high right now. They're playing with so much precise and so much conviction that I feel like who's going to stop them, really, But that's not, to put Lazio down or anything or disrespect them by any means, because they have a strong squad too. I mean, when you have an attacking number 9 like Ciro Immobile, who scores goals, maybe not at the pace like Lewandowski, but he is a true goal-scoring number 9 that can change the game. I don't put it past them to maybe make it a challenge for Bayern Munich, but at this stage and at the level that Bayern Munich are playing, I think I got to agree with you. Bayern Munich's gonna go past this fixture and gonna move on to the next round. Now, I don't know if I'm ready to call them champions for this year, but yeah, they're gonna definitely move on to the next round. The next fixture, I know this one's a little bit closer to your heart. Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea.
Yeah, man, I'm a true diehard Chelsea fan. If you guys didn't know this, and I live by the blue colors of Chelsea. So, I don't know. This is one of two of the games in this group of 16 that I think is pretty even. And I've always said it. Atletico and Chelsea always get some really tough games when it comes to the 16 teams left of the 16 rounds or the quarterfinals or whatever. It's just it's very hard to always see these teams get this kind of hard games, and they ended up getting each other this time, right? It's like you don't want to see either one of them get eliminated because you think they're both big contenders, right? You'd rather see other two teams get eliminated, but they got what they got, and if you don't fight and the struggles that Atletico's been having, you're going to face a team like Chelsea. So it's a team of Chelsea who's been struggling, and I think everybody's struggling, Mark. I think because of COVID, I think because the way the league's going, and I think more importantly because the way the Champions League has been going with pushing these games almost every other week, so they can get at least the group stage finalized, so they can be left with just the quarter of the 16 games or I'm sorry, the 16 teams or the 8 teams left, just to push things forward because of COVID. I think it's put a lot of pressure on teams because they also have to play their leagues. But this team, Chelsea and Atletico, it's going to be a hell of a match. I'm really looking forward to this game and a couple others. But I think this is a pretty even game, and I'm going to go with Chelsea, man. Let's go.
Spoken like a true blue supporter. But no, man, I mean, obviously, yeah, Atletico Chelsea is one of the main courses for the next round of 16 draws, right? Both clubs, we know they have a ton of history. Both clubs are doing very well in their respective leagues, with Atletico Madrid on top of the table and Chelsea in the top 3, I believe, right now in the Premier League. But we all know Atletico Madrid plays a little bit differently when it comes to Champions League. And we all know that Diego Simeone's tactics are very defensive.
Right.
But there's a difference in this club that he hasn't had for a while, man. He has talented offensive players. He has a true number 9 and Luis Suarez, who he got from Barcelona earlier in this year, who we all know from watching Barcelona games can change the game by scoring 1 or 2 goals. He's a very creative number 9 who can hold the ball, who can pass the ball, and cause damage both ways. We have a young up-and-comer Portuguese player named Joao Felix, who I'm sure all y'all know because he's been crowned the next Cristiano Ronaldo, who is incredible. 21-year-old kid who I think is the future of soccer, and he's doing very well. And I think that when you have those two, that tandem, you have to take full advantage of the talent that you have up front and put more pressure. And on the other side, obviously, Chelsea, Frank Lampard has been given the keys to Chelsea. Basically, this offseason, they said, hey, who do you want? We're going to go out there and get them. They got him a top number 9 and Timo Werner, who was the number 2 goal scorer in the Bundesliga last year with RB Leipzig. They got him Kai Havertz, who's the future number 10 or present and future number 10 for Germany. Who is another one to watch out for in the future of soccer. They brought in Thiago Silva, who was the captain in PSG, who captained the PSG squad in the final last season to make the defense more sturdy. It's going to be a very close match. I think, man, and I hate to say it's going to go defensive because, like I said, I think Diego Simeone needs to take advantage of the players that he has and be more offensive. But I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to take Atletico Madrid to advance in that stage. So the next fixture, RB Leipzig versus Liverpool.
Man, this is the surprise for me, bro. I'm telling you that you got a Leipzig that has been coming up, a Leipzig that has been showing a lot of game. They lost players. I mean, they lost Warner, right? Warner went to Chelsea, but still, they're still strong. They're still showing a lot of capacity. And then you have a Liverpool who's struggling a lot with injuries, who's still has a great offense, right? But man, I think this Leipzig's gonna surprise. And I think this is going to be the game where one of the strong teams is going to be knocked out, and it's going to probably give another team that, I was glad I didn't get to face this team in the next round. But yeah, I think Leipzig's going to get this one, bro. For real.
Wow, that's an upset. So obviously, we know what Liverpool have done the last 2 seasons, champions of Europe and champions, and finally after 30 years winning the Premier League. I know right now it's great to be a Liverpool supporter, and obviously, we know all the injury history that's going on with Liverpool right now, with Van Dijk being out for the rest of the season with that torn ACL. Joe Gomez, I'm not sure what his stature would be come February as far as playing games. They finally got Allison back, so I mean, unless barring any future injury, he should be available to them. But going back to RB Leipzig, man, for those who know me, I never really watched the Bundesliga too much prior to last season due to the COVID and due to them being the first league to come back on television, obviously. So I adopted them as my Bundesliga team, and they've been not surprisingly, they've been doing very well, and they play a very attractive brand of football, and like you said, of soccer, and obviously, like you said, they lost their number 9, their top goal scorer, Timo Werner, but it seems to have not it has not derailed them at all. They're still there fighting for Bundesliga. They're tied second place with Bayern Munich right now in the Bundesliga at this moment. And I think if anybody's going to go in there and cause an upset, it's RB Leipzig against Liverpool. Like I said, obviously we know these fixtures are 2 months from now, so a lot of things can happen, right? There's a transfer window in between and all this good stuff, but I'm going to go with you, and not just because I support RB Leipzig, but I think RB Leipzig is going to surprise Liverpool and upset them in this round of 16 draw.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
We got to get an upset somewhere.
Right.
So the next fixture, Porto of Portugal versus Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus.
This is another one, man. This is another one. I saw Porto play a couple of times, and you would think, hey, man, they go on that counterattack, and they just can't finish sometimes. But somehow, some way, they got through their group stage. I don't know. I see a Juventus team that is too confident. I've said it before. Gigi Buffon, I don't know if he has a bad vibe or something. That's the only trophy he can't win, a Champions League trophy, right? So I'm thinking Porto is going to have another upset here.
Wow.
It's got to be, man. Sometimes you see some of these teams and they're playing well and they got great names. They got Cristiano, they got all these people, but at the same time, any other team can come in a good day and just knock them out. Of course, it's 2 games back and forth, right? Home and away. But at the same time, if you play smart, and I think Porto can do it, they'll probably surprise Juventus. So I'm gonna lean towards Porto's side this time. Let's go.
Man, that's another that's a big upset right there because obviously who runs in Juventus, that man right there, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's out there. He wants to win that Champions League with that third club. He wants to prove the naysayers wrong and let them know who the greatest of all time is.
That's right.
So obviously he has to get past this round of 16. Gigi Buffon. I mean, for those who don't know, legend of legends. I mean, he's one of the top 2 or 3 goalkeepers of all time, in my opinion. He's won everything: World Cup, Euros, Italian League, Copas, all that stuff. The only trophy that's missing in his trophy case, and the only reason I think he's still playing is because he wants this elusive Champions League trophy that's missing, man. That's the only thing missing from his career. But unfortunately, I'm not gonna go with you on this one, Fidel. I'm gonna go Juventus. I think this one's gonna be a pretty easy match for them. I think they got the fixture that they wanted. It's a pretty easy draw for them, I think, in my opinion. Porto is, one of those clubs that obviously we see a lot of times because they're one of the top clubs in Portugal. But this version of the Porto team, I don't think is going to cause too much noise. So I think Juventus goes on in this next round.
That's good.
Yeah. And the next one, this is the cream of the crop, man. This is the cream of the crop matchup that I think everybody's going to be so focused on because it's Neymar, PSG, coming back to Barcelona to face his old teammate, his old buddy, Messi, and Camp Nou. What's
right,
your opinion, man?
Man, I'm looking forward to this game. First of all,
we all are.
Let me tell you. I mean, although Barcelona is in that restructure stage, and I'm a true believer. I think Messi's out. I think Messi doesn't have any more passion. He loves Barcelona. He loves the club, but I think he's not having fun no more, and he wants to go somewhere where he can enjoy his last years of soccer, and that's gonna be Paris for me. That's just putting it out there. I think Paris has this game just because of the intensity, of the quality, as well as the experience. Barcelona has a great squad. It has great names, but they're playing a lot of young guys who don't have the experience to go out and give everything they have for the team, for the jersey. So because of that, and again, I'm saying this because you've looked at the last few games of Barcelona, and Messi's all they got.
Yeah.
Messi took 8 shots in the last game in the group stage against Juventus, and he was the only one who took shots against Juventus. Nobody else. So with that being said, I'm leaning towards Paris, and who knows, maybe Messi's gonna play it on purpose so that way he doesn't mess up his chances to get into Paris next year with Neymar, right?
What are you talking about, man? But I mean, you see me here rocking the Barcelona jersey, so where my heart is. Obviously, I know that Barcelona right now is going through a bit of turmoil right now. With any club in the world, whether you're the biggest club or the smallest club, you're gonna have your ups and you're gonna have your downs. And right now, we're kind of on a downward spiral right now. The whole Messi saga is kind of I don't want to say a dark cloud because Messi's one of the players who he demands the respect that he's getting. He's accomplished everything with this club. He's given his whole heart and love and soul and passion to this club, and they've achieved countless achievements with this club, right?
Right.
So I don't want to disrespect it by calling a dark cloud over the club, but yeah, man, Paris. I mean, what can you say? You have 2 of arguably the top 5 players of right now, and Kylian Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah.
Now, and then on top of that, you have a number 9 and Icardi. You have other players as well that are very dynamic and very skillful with a lot of talent that I think that can cause a lot of damage. But like I said, these fixtures are 2 months from now. A lot can happen in 2 months. There's like I said again, there's a transfer window. A lot of things can happen. Barcelona is going to have an election of a new president by that time, and who knows? Will Coleman still be there? I don't know. It's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. Obviously my heart lies with Barcelona, and I want them to pass them up. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna go with Barcelona.
That's good. That's not bad. I mean, You got a new president, you got a new coach, because that's gonna happen eventually. But
We'll see.
I think it's good. I think it's a good bet.
All right. So the next fixture is Borussia Dortmund versus Sevilla.
So this is the second game that I think that is kind of even. The other one
Okay.
was Atletico Chelsea, but this is the second game that I see pretty even as far as teams going against each other and having a superiority, whether it's in wealth, economically, or in the names of the players or whatever. But
Okay.
you do have a Dortmund who has Holland injured, who should be back by then because they're expecting he should be back by the end of January. A great forward, he from Norwegia. He's Norwegian, of course,
Mhm.
and then you got Reina up in there. You got a couple of other players that are spectacular for Dortmund. But Sevilla, man, Sevilla, regardless of them being so successful in the Europa League, they got experience, bro. And that pressure of being in this stage, I think is gonna put them up one step ahead of Dortmund. So I'm taking Sevilla this time.
No, I mean I completely agree with you, man. And trust me, if this was Europa League, I would put my house, my money, everything on Sevilla because we know that Sevilla knows how to win the Europa Leagues, right?
Hmm.
But Borussia Dortmund, man, I mean, what can we say about this club? I mean, this club for being such a young team. I mean, think about it. You have Jordan Sancho, 21 years old. You have Ilan Haaland, 20 years old. Giovanni Reina, who is the next American great hope, hopefully, right after Pulisic, 17, 18 years old, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. That's mental to me, right? And they play such a great brand of soccer. But obviously they're going through the little turmoil as well right now. They just let go of their coach last week after that 5-1 defeat. I think Brenham was the club that beat them.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. Like I said, it's a really real evenly matched fixture. But I'm gonna go on the other side of this, and I'm gonna take Borussia Dortmund, man.
That's a good bet. I like that. I mean, you could go either way. It's pretty even, like I said.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And obviously, the last but not least, new guys on the block, Atalanta versus Real Madrid, the old heads, the
Man,
13th
Atalanta.
time champions.
Yeah, man. We said that Atalanta was probably gonna be the surprise of this Champions League just because of what they did last year and they were growing. But I think we have a Madrid that has finally woken up, a Madrid that is finally showing some potential, that is finally believing in the game or the style of game that Zidane has really put forward with the players that they got this year because they didn't really buy anybody this year, right? So even though it's a young team, even though they're showing better games in the last few games, I think this is the time for Madrid to step forward and I think they're gonna get it, man. I just think Zidane has that capacity of being able to say we're gonna struggle for a good 10, 15 games, but after that, once we get that chemistry going, which is really important in soccer, and implement the tactic, as long as Ramos and Benzema are not missing in the squad in the top 11 on the starting 11, I think Madrid is going to be fine because Ramo implements that good leadership style of saying, hey, go here, go there, whatever. And
A
then
true
Benzema,
captain.
yeah, a true captain. And then Benzema is just a true nine, man. He's a true finisher. He's able to capitalize when the team needs it. And that's it, man. If those two are there and they're healthy, you, I don't know. Maybe they might even make it to the final and get beat by Bayern Munich, by the way.
Man, obviously I can't disagree with what you're saying. Madrid has been stumbling a little bit, obviously in La Liga not being where they're supposed to be, and obviously they had such a tough time getting out of the group stages. But the recent fixtures they've been awakened and Cece, we know him. We know that he's gonna find a way to motivate these players. And it's an unfortunate thing where you think you have to motivate players to play in a Champions League game, right? That's kind of crazy when you're playing the top of the competitions and you got to be motivated to come out and play. But it is what it is. You know, Atalanta, for those who follow the Spanish version of this show, is one of my sleeper picks that I picked early on to cause some stir in this tournament. And they did. I mean, obviously they made it to the next round. They're in the knockout round. Unfortunately, the fixture is kind of, the fixture of Madrid, is kind of a tall task for them to climb. But I mean, they got players, man. They got nice number 10 and Papu Gomez, an Argentine that's really out there making a name for himself, and a good forward, and David Zapata, who's a Colombian forward that he's out there scoring goals. And Atlanta, they're a tricky team because when they're on, they'll put 4 or 5 goals on you without you knowing. And if you want to take them lightly, you're gonna lose that game.
That's true.
But with that being said, obviously, I think Madrid would be ready to go. The Champions League was created for them, for the team like this. So I mean, Madrid it is, man, going forward. As much as that pains for me to say, I would trust me. I would love to see them lose this fixture, but I don't think it's gonna happen this round.
Hey, like you said, I mean, Atalanta has good days and bad days. You expect them to have 2 good days against Madrid, so that's kind of hard to think about it. But who knows? It might happen.
For sure, man. Obviously, we're gonna go. The show, for those, like I said, this is the first episode on the English version. So for those who follow us on the Spanish version as well, this is going to be a little bit more abbreviated. So obviously the same topics, most of the topics will be the same, but some of them will be excluded due to our, we trying to appease the English audience as well as the Spanish audience. So you'll see different topics on the episode you see a little bit of difference between each episodes, right? So, speaking of that, we're going to go on to the next topic, which would be MLS, man. And they crowned a champion this week. And it was a team that you have something close to because you, if I'm not mistaken, made this prediction of them winning.
Yeah, that's definitely right. I mean, if you guys watch the Spanish version, I actually called out the East and the West teams qualifying. So I called out Seattle from the West, and I called out the Columbus Crew from the East, And at the end, I even said it. I said Columbus is going to win it. Columbus was a team that I started watching back in the time when they did the bubble in Orlando and they did that tournament. And I said, wow, Columbus plays amazingly. And they picked up some pretty good players, such as Celadayan and a couple others. And I'm like, man, those guys have some kind of movement with the ball that is very offensive. And at the same time, the ball moves really well through the lines as far as protection. The ball goes to the feet. You're never going for those long balls to see what happens. There's always a for sure we're going to give the ball away. I mean, we're going to put the ball out of our feet, but it's going to land in one of our players' feet. I'm telling you, man, I enjoyed the final. I enjoyed the process of this MLS playoffs. Man, I'm so excited for the future of the MLS league. I don't know what to tell you. I wish the league can start again tomorrow. And just because they left me that good sense of feeling, which I've never felt for the MLS in the past, but they gave me that feeling of, yo, we have a future, man. And I'm not a fan of the home team. And I say that because I don't think our home team here in H-Town has really done necessary for them to keep my taste. And it's okay. It's okay. I think it's okay for me to go for another fan base, whether it's not home or not, but to cheer for a team that is playing good soccer. And that's what I like. I like good entertainment. And both teams, I don't think it should have been a 3-0 game just because I think Seattle had a lot more to give. But I do believe that Columbus Crew played a perfect game on both ends of the game. Defensively, they made a lot of tactical fouls. They controlled the game. They knew who to go after as far as what players were the difference makers in Seattle's team. And they came back and they capitalized on their finishing. And well-deserved by Celadayan for winning the MVP. I think he made the right decision to come to MLS. And I don't think he regrets it one beat. And man, I'm looking forward to seeing another year of this. And even if it's a different champion, I don't care. I'm just enjoying watching MLS games, period. Yeah,
no, man. For sure, man. I got to agree with you. I mean, obviously, for those who know me, I'm forever orange, hold it down with H-Town, Houston Dynamo, all that good stuff. But like you said earlier, we're on a downward spiral right now. But yeah, man, congratulations to the Crew. MLS Cup champions, the second one in their history. So, and they're going to go into that new stadium as champions, man. So congratulations to those guys. But it's funny how you said you want more MLS soccer, but soccer ain't done in this region of the country, man. We still got another competition going on, and we're obviously talking about CONCACAF Champions League that's going on today.
That's right.
Some of the fixtures have already been played, and there's some fixtures that need to be still resulted into to see who moves on. But man, what's your opinions, man? Obviously, we got the bracket up here: Atlanta United versus Club America, Cruz Azul versus LAFC on one side, Tigres versus New York FC, and Olympia from Honduras versus Montreal Impact.
Well, let me go
Now,
ahead and go ahead. Go ahead.
now before we go on, there's an asterisk next to the Cruz Azul LAFC game. So their game, they never got to play the first leg of that match because of COVID. Obviously, it was in the beginning stages. So this match will actually be just a one-off. So whoever wins this match automatically moves forward. So they won't have the away leg as you know.
Right. It's really unfortunate, but I think on the positive side for MLS teams, I think LAFC has the advantage, just because it's going to be one game, and Cruz Azul is coming off that horrible loss in Mexico where they were up 4-0 and they ended up losing 4-0 on the counter, on the other way around, and they ended up losing and not qualifying to the final. But let me start off with the right side. Today's games already happening or already happened today. Montreal Impact against Olympia. Montreal had lost 2-1 at Olympia. And of course, as we know, it's called a bubble and it's happening in Orlando. So that means that every one of these teams is going to play in Orlando for this CONCACAF Champions League finals or whatever the 8 teams that are left. So the game happened today at 7 o'clock, and Olympia lost to Montreal Impact 1-0. But because Montreal Impact had finished in a better position, they ended up winning that position, even though they lost 1-0 here in Orlando. So Olympia is already qualified to the semifinals of that side. Now, at this very, very first moment, Tigres from Monterrey is playing New York FC. Of course, that first game was played, and Tigres won 1-0. So LAFC is on the 14th minute at this point as we're talking, and they're tied 0-0. And it's happening right now. So hopefully New York FC can give it a good fight and see what happens. On the other side, man, I am hopeful. I am hopeful. I am hopeful. Look, I could be honest with you. On the right side, I think Tigres is going to win it. I think Tigres is probably going to beat New York FC, and they're going to probably beat Olympia and make it to the finals. But on the other side, it looks pretty good. Pretty good games. I think America is going to beat Atlanta, and the only reason why I think America is going to beat Atlanta is because Atlanta hasn't had that many games in the last month or so, and at the same time, Atlanta hasn't had a good season, right? But then yeah, exactly. But then on the other hand, you have LAFC against Cruz Azul, and I am hopeful, man. I hope LAFC gives it a good game, because to me, that's the only hope that I have for any MLS team, and I hope I hope LAFC gives it a good fight, because they were missing 5 players when they got to play Seattle in the semifinal in the playoff game. I'm sorry, and if they have a full squad, I think they can give Cruz Azul a pretty good game and beat them, and at the same time end up playing against America in a semifinal game and hopefully win that one. And my prediction is LAFC against Tigres, man, and hopefully it happens, because I mean, I'm tired of watching just 2 Mexican teams going against each other in the finals. What do you think? I mean, tell me.
I think we are, man. Obviously, we know that the common fixture for this, it's during the time when MLS is in their preseason and Liga MX is in the middle of their regular season. So that's an advantage right there for as far as fitness. But since this is kind of more equal for this year, man, hopefully we can get some MLS sides in here. But yeah, man, for those who watched the Spanish version of the show prior to this show, the Olympia Montreal Impact it was going on, and I had picked Montreal to advance. So obviously I look like on that one. So I was wrong on that one. But yeah, Tigres, I think Tigres is going to beat New York AFC. So it'd be Tigres versus Olympia on the right hand side for me. Obviously, Club America, a 3-goal advantage against Atlanta United. That's not the same Atlanta United we know, because no Joseph Martinez. Piti Martin has been sold, and Ezekiel Barco is nowhere to be found. So Club America on that bracket. The Cruz Azul LAFC game. Now, this is going to be interesting for me, and I'm really excited to watch this game tomorrow night, because the simple fact that I think they represent the best opportunity for MLS to finally lift this cup. you know. And obviously, when you have top-notch players like Carlos Vela, Diego Rossi, and players like that, you expect top-notch performances, right? And unfortunately for them, in their last 2 years of existence, the playoffs, they've been the top dog in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they just not shown up. And like I said, this season because of COVID, they had 5 players out. But now that everybody's healthy, hopefully, assuming, and they have their full squad, and we don't know how Cruz Azul is going to come into this tournament because first and foremost, they don't have a coach. Their coach was let go after that 4-0, defeat against Pumas.
Right.
They're coming off such a huge disappointment in Liga MX playoffs, so we don't know what kind of attitude they're going to come with. So I'm predicting LAFC on that one. Now, Club America versus LAFC, man. As much as I want to see an MLS side pick up, I can't go against my Águilas of America. So I'm going to go Club America versus Tigres. Again, 2 Mexican sides, unfortunately, with hopefully Club America lifting up that CONCACAF Champions League trophy, man.
Well, you're a true fan, bro. I really give it up to you. I think we're gonna have good games, especially on the left side of this. That's gonna happen tomorrow, of course. And I'm looking forward to this, man. I think to a certain extent, a lot of people want to see the Clásico Joven from Mexico, which is the young classical game because it's America Cruz Azul. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, we want an MLS team to make it. And hopefully LAFC can take advantage of this opportunity and Carlos Vela can motivate his guys and get them up there, man. And I'm going to be cheering, bro. It's going to be awesome.
For sure, man. And last but not least, obviously, we got to talk about the biggest league in the world, right? And that, of course, is the Premier League. And the Premier League right now, man, it's so tight, man. Anything can happen. You have one bad week and you go from top to 10th place, man, because it's really tight, man. And I'm really excited about the fixtures that are going on, especially midweek. This is the first week where they're going to have midweek matches. We've had some matches today, an upset today kind of sense because it's a 1-1 tie for Man City versus West Brom, which we kind of expected. Like we said earlier, we expect Man City to win those games, but they're coming at such a poor form right now. But aside from that, tomorrow's game, huge match between the 2 number 1 seeds in the Premier League at this current moment on top of the table with Liverpool versus Tottenham. Fidel, who are you taking, man?
Man, I am down for this game. But of course, one got to win, right? And I don't see it as a draw. I don't see it as a draw. I just don't.
Okay.
But I think Tottenham is going to get this. I think to a certain extent, Mourinho knows and has been working on this for a while because he knows that this is one of those top teams that he was going to face and he had to take care of business. He's been playing great soccer, great offense. We all know Mourinho likes to sit back and then go on a counterattack. He has great finishers up top. He has great goal scorers up top. He has done this to plenty of teams, well-known teams in the Premier Leagues. And then after he puts them down, he takes over the game. So I don't know. I think with the injuries, I think with the damage that Liverpool has on them or the hurt that they have in them, I think Tottenham is going to take this game. But at the same time, who knows, man? Because the midfield all the way up, and I don't mean the defense from Liverpool. I mean from the midfield all the way to the forwards. That's just brutal, man. Liverpool has it on paper, like by far, bro. I could put my money on them, but the way Mourinho comes out and plays all these teams, he's destined to win it, bro. I don't see Liverpool winning this game, or even making 2-3 goals, maybe one or so. But I see Tottenham scoring at least 2-3 goals on this game, and hopefully it turns out to be a good game. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be like this last Manchester United Man U game where it was just Man City game was just boring. You just didn't enjoy watching it. But I'm excited, man. Hopefully, and this is for first place, Mark. I mean, what do you say? I mean, you can't expect this. It doesn't really happen a lot, but it's something to talk about because two great teams with two different problems or challenges. And hopefully, I think it's all going to come down to the coaches and see what kind of tactical game and situation they're going to come up with. And I still see Tottenham on top of Liverpool. And I like Liverpool.
Yeah. So London's always going to be red for me. I'm a huge Arsenal fan. Unfortunately, the North London derby didn't go our way this season. It's okay. Tottenham can have the little moment of glory right now. But, At the end of the day, you still got to fill up that trophy case. But with that being said, you know, if I got to name a player of the year in the Premier League right now, it's going to be either Harry Kane or Son. Those two guys right now are on a whole different level. They're on a Cristiano Messi type level right now. I mean, with the goals and assists that they provide each other, they're a two-man attacking team, man. Those two guys are already at double digits on goals and assists, man. And that's crazy. For as much as we think of a Mourinho team being a defensive park the bus type of club, to be having two offensive weapons like that, two offensive juggernauts. And with that being said, like I said, I mean, obviously Liverpool, they're dealing with some injuries right now, a lot of injuries, but obviously in typical Mourinho, he doesn't care. That's just he says he has injuries on his squad as well. But, that's no excuse. We're going to go out there and do what we got to do to make sure that we come out of there on top of the table. And you got to respect that, man. Mourinho, he's labeled the special one, and he deserves that nickname. And obviously, he's done a lot of things in every club that he's been to, whether it be in Porto, Real Madrid, or Chelsea, or Inter Milan. He's always won everywhere he's gone, right? And right now, the way things are looking with Tottenham, they might finally see a trophy, So, we'll see, man. But it's in Anfield, man. I don't know what to say, man. It's gonna be crazy because, man, if Tottenham goes into Anfield and beats Liverpool, that's a statement. That's a statement. And as much as I want to be against Spurs, man, I don't know. It's too close for me to draw because, like I said, I think Klopp is gonna have something underneath. He's gonna have some kind of tactic ready. Klopp is that manager. He's not scared to shake things up, and he has a lot of hungry young players ready to come in for those players that are injured right now. So,
and he also has a plan A, plan B. Klopp is that type of player, type of coach. I'm sorry, that always projects that, like, okay, this is not working, guys. Plan B. You see it in the game, and you see it a lot. And I like the fact that Klopp has these players that believe in him. And the defense, I honestly believe defense starts with your forwards. Mm-hmm. Your forwards can implement so much pressure to stop a team from penetrating and creating anything, really. And you got Salah, you got Mane, you got Firmino, you got that new kid, Jota. What's his name?
Jota's gonna be out. He's injured.
But regardless, you got three great forwards that can put so much pressure on you. And if you make that one mistake, that's gonna cost you. So I don't know why or how. I still think I see Mourinho just because, regardless of Liverpool pulling the ball out into the area to get Tottenham players out of their field, I still think Mourinho is going to keep their guys back there. And whenever Liverpool makes that one mistake, let's go and let's put it behind the net. See what happens.
No, for sure, man. So, but I mean, obviously, I didn't want to go with the draw, man, but I'm going to make it an exciting draw. I'm going to say it's going to end up a 2-2 draw. So a little bit of excitement, a little bit of goals out there scored. So, I just can't, my heart can't give it to the Spurs, man. I can't do it, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
But man. So obviously this is our first episode in English, hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be on obviously right after the Spanish version of the show. We do our live shows Tuesday at 7 p.m. every Tuesday, barring any holidays or any kind of, whatever going on. But every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The English show follows right after. Maybe give us a 10-15 minute, cushion just to get everything set up. But yeah, man, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share with your guys, man. We love to talk soccer. Well, pretty soon we'll have our social media handles and all this stuff, our personal handles, so that way you can follow us. We'll interact with you on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming out. Fidel, any words you want to add before we go?
Yo, we just want to let you guys know we got our merchandise right here with La Banca Podcast. So we're going to be giving out some prizes to you guys just for showing some love to us. So become a usual member, become a usual listener or a viewer, and we'll be showing some love to you back. Thanks.
For sure, man. Have a good one, guys.
See you later.